And we're into the last quarter-final here in Chicago, waiting for that position in the bottom half of the draw in tomorrow's semis.
Well, that difference in tactic actually already evident from ElShorbagy, just slow balling down that backhand side. And
movement, yeah, just a little bit.
One love.
So far up to try and over-anticipate almost that cross-court. I think we'll see a lot of that.
Yeah, he's going to throw up all sorts.
Which is a good idea, I think. If he's, especially if he's struggling a little bit physically, a bit of fatigue in the legs, he can't afford to get bogged down in too many lengthy exchanges. So he's going to look to disrupt those patterns as much as possible. Lots of changes of direction, lots of angles, lots of pace differences.
Yeah, just see that he knows it fully well around the mid area of the court there. Just Paul Coll being very positive in the front.
There's that sudden injection of pace.
1-3.
Great shot from Shorbagy.
2-3.
Coll just opening up with a slightly loose cross court, which will not be a tactic for the most part, I think. He's going to try and close down those lines, wait for ElShorbagy to open up, and then see if he can just keep picking him off with those straight drops. Slightly fortunate weight of shot there. It's got a nice bounce on it. Looks like he's wearing football boots.
To ElShorbagy.
Good high quality rally, that one.
Hand out, 3-5. 6-3.
Well, just see a bit of a discussion, a warm down there. I feel that James Walstro's just got the edge on the on the levels. Mustafa pretending he's on a higher level, but we know he's not.
Timbo's wearing his skinny jeans. That can't be comfortable.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot. Stretched out really well on that so-called unorthodox leg, left leg.
7-3.
Took it out nicely in front there. Good racket face.
Down. 8-3.
Really good composure so far from Paul Coll. ElShorbagy just again trying to disrupt things as much as possible. Coll just sticking to his guns, not being tempted at all to go with that.
Yes.
9-3.
Quite a few errors from Mohamed. You feel that obviously the first game would have been really, really important for him to have got under the belt. I can't see if he goes 2-love down coming back like he did against Steinman. Absolutely leapt on that one. That was very aggressive from the beast. Very aggressive.
Hand out. 10-4. Game ball.
So 6 game balls for the Kiwi.
Down. 11-4. Game to Coll.
And all goes in the tin from Mohamed ElShorbagy. So pretty one.
So it's the Kiwi that takes the first game to open up. So it's the Kiwi that takes the first game to open up a 1-love lead here in this final men's quarterfinal. For those of you asking about the grand unveiling.
8 minutes, and it's Paul Coll that leads in this last quarter-final by 1 game to love.
An official opening at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So make sure you're there nice and early.
They're very solid from Coll. ElShorbagy, the approach was what I thought it would be, but it was even more extreme, throwing in angles and cross courts all over the place. And that sort of tells us its own story, that I don't think he feels that physically he has it in his legs to play sort of a 20-minute game. He wants to keep the rally short and try and take his chances where he can, but Paul Coll was having none of it.
Mohamed ElShorbagy will want to chop and change, but he's got to get the balance between disrupting, so not putting the ball in the tin. What do you think, Vanessa, in terms of how this second will go?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of his movement, a bit of residual sort of stiffness might work its way out, might start to find a bit more movement. ElShorbagy. But it's a bit of a reach at the minute to see him going through this.
Level.
Well, just trying to break up the play with a slow ball. A forced error up.
I mean, he obviously went 82 minutes with Paul Coll in the Optasia Championships, but went into that quite fresh. He managed to beat Gregoire Marsh in 43 minutes, really quite comfortably.
Yeah, it was actually Paul that had the humdinger in the previous round in Optasia with Marwan. And then obviously backing up against Mohamed as well. So Mohamed's run through, as you say, was that bit more comfortable. He, though, took out Zakaria through love. He played very well there. It was a big kind of push from Mohamed.
I mean, only 1 year difference between them, but in terms of how much squash they've played, there is a difference, more than a year's difference.
It's massive. I mean, Mohamed was competing at 17 years of age he beat Nick Matthew in Canary Wharf at 17. You know, it's and all those brutal matches. And you go back to the World Championship finals as well, 2012, Ramy Ashour 2014 with Ramy Ashour both in Qatar.
And out.
You know, you look through the highlight, some clips and highlights on Squash TV or YouTube, and he's in like a massive final, having a ding dong with either Gaultier, James Allstrop, Nick Matthew, Ramy Ashour. I mean, the list goes on.
About 10 times a year,
you know,
if not more.
Shibana. So I mean, the fact that he's still competing at 34 with the work he's done in this body is pretty astonishing.
And out. 4-1.
So another early lead opening up for Coll.
Yes, led 4-1.
No. It came out. It came out from here. It's not going to touch this wall twice. It can't. Scientifically, it can't. It touched here and came out so low.
I saw it out.
No, you didn't. You would have been more sure than that. I know your voice. Know your voice. There is no way you're sure.
5-1.
Let's have another look.
Not up. And out. 2-5.
Crowd trying to get behind ElShorbagy. They really want him to get into this.
Yes, let's.
Review, please. Please check his movement.
Okay, player review. ElShorbagy on the yes,
Oh,
let's.
you're not happy with the let. He wants this movement looked at.
I mean, And the movement's going to be looked at with everything now, isn't it? Moving up on the ball like that. Gohar's movement was looked at a little bit against Watanabe, you know, moving up across.
Yeah, it's just a little extra step, isn't it? And on the lookout for. You know exactly where your opponent is.
Stroke to ElShorbagy. Position
He
overall.
knows what he's about,
ElShorbagy
I'll
has
tell you
2
that.
reviews remaining. Mr. Coll, I need you to provide access to your opponent. 3-5.
So Mohamed ElShorbagy, sharp as attack with that, getting the stroke. And he's, again, the adrenaline. Will he have enough to see him into the second game? Because he likes to get a scrap on, that's for sure, Vanessa. It's an outrageous shot.
No left, winning shot.
So early, anticipating that, almost a guess, really. An educated guess, we'll call it.
No, I'd say he read that. he was onto that.
Whoops.
Video referee, please take a look at the movement for Mr. ElShorbagy's appeal.
And again, we're looking at the movement now. It's movement analysis.
Court service, please.
He's just caught him as he's playing his shot. You know, that's just a traffic issue. I mean, that's a traffic issue. He's playing the shot there. I mean, he's not. That's a normal position. He's just caught him. Coll's. Luckily, he's been okay because that was a knee that hit the belly of the calf and could be a real nightmare. But he's all right. It's a traffic issue.
Yes, left 4-5.
Can just be a let. You know.
Mr. ElShorbagy serving from the right. 4-5.
This is all very helpful for ElShorbagy, all of these little stoppages. Disrupting the patterns, disrupting the rhythm.
Coverage there. Oh my goodness me. Oh, Shorbagy, is that? Oh, this is a joke. Paul Coll's doing some movement here, but he's still in the rally. He's got to win this rally, Shorbagy. He's thrown absolutely everything at Coll. Psychologically, he needs to win this. Reset from Coll. That is the loudest cheer. That's the loudest cheer we've heard all tournament, isn't it?
They're loving this. They want Shorbagy to come back. And it's so entertaining, isn't it?
And that's an outrageous passing shot. Half volley. So Shorbagy's drawn level. The energy levels are starting to look good. That's well played there. Paul Coll.
6-5.
Getting the point straight back.
Just trying to nullify this storm that's brewing from ElShorbagy. Calm down outside, thankfully.
Yeah, it has. Oh. He's come alive now, Mohamed ElShorbagy.
6-all.
Post was read quickly by former world champ. Bounding around. He's revved up the tempo here.
Hand out. Yes, yes.
Coll just trying to make it, to nullify and trying to make it as difficult as possible for ElShorbagy to get quick points on the board. needs this game, you'd have to say. ElShorbagy, he's put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, no, he's 100%. He's got to take this second for his campaign. Well, we haven't seen many of those going in from Coll. That was a wild shot from ElShorbagy. Bit of a gift.
That's the effect that this type of squash has on Coll. I've certainly seen it happen in the past where he loses that rhythm and the accuracy goes with the straight drop, which has been so solid so far in the match.
Hand out, 8-7.
Too early.
Absolutely flying. It's like an aeroplane there, Mohamed ElShorbagy. Watch this.
9-7.
The ball needed to be tighter for him.
I know.
It was too loose.
It was. The looseness of the shot outdid ElShorbagy there. He overran it. So kind of 3 errors from ElShorbagy in this last phase. He's peeling in the pickup there, and he's put another one in the tin.
Player review, ElShorbagy.
So he's reviewing the pickup.
Decision.
I think the pickup for me was all right. We'll see it.
Can we have call service, please, during the break?
Could be right here, you know.
Oh, I don't know. Double?
Yeah.
Yes, please, do the call, please, whilst we're doing this.
It's on
I don't want
there, isn't
to
it?
do it later. I want to do it now.
I think it literally caught the ground, and when you see it like that, it becomes like a second bounce half volley.
Looks good when it's sped up slightly. It was just on the super slow-mo. That looks like a double bounce.
Yeah, that looks like it's hit the floor.
Could get an inconclusive here, perhaps.
I think it's just hit the floor.
Inconclusive decision overruled. ElShorbagy has 2 reviews remaining. From the left, 9-7.
Couldn't have been any closer. I mean, really, very, very. You know. So he keeps his review, ElShorbagy.
You can see why the crowd are getting behind him. It's such an exciting brand of squash when he's like this.
It is.
Hey!
Oh my goodness me!
Ready,
Absolutely ravaged that into the cross-court nick.
Yes, please. Court service. Thank you. Hand out.
Not giving anything away, Paul Coll, though, with his body language.
8-9.
Must be feeling a little bit uncomfortable with this style of squash, but
He's done well, actually, because there's been, you know, he's chopped and changed a bit. There's obviously been some erratic errors from ElShorbagy, which has kind of made the rhythm awkward. But he's done very, very well. And if he gets the second game under his belt, that becomes a real mountain for ElShorbagy to get back into this. Massive part of the match here. And then another tin, and that's just come out of
10-8.
rolling the racket face over. So 2 game balls for Paul Coll to go 2-love up in this last quarter final.
let, 10-8, game ball.
Good defensive work from Coll. Good rally, this one. Oh my goodness me. Again, the crowd, it was like they were on fast forward in that last phase of
9-10.
the rally. Everything was taken early. ElShorbagy let that go really, really low before he kind of played the volley angle. Or
He's sort of playing like someone with nothing to lose, really. He looks like he's quite enjoying himself as well.
Yes, let.
it's not going to review it.
9-10, game ball.
It's the liveliest the crowd have been, though.
It is, yeah. They've obviously been looking forward to this match.
Now, 11-9, game to Coll.
Another goes in, and Paul Coll knows he's one step closer. That was a very entertaining second game. Just a few too many unforced errors. When you think about the scoreline, 11-9, and Mohamed ElShorbagy actually hit there, it's making it quite difficult for himself. But the crowd really engaged with the way he's trying to chop and change. So 29 minutes. Coll now 2-love up in this last quarter-final.
Well, I think ElShorbagy kind of knew he had to go with a slightly higher risk brand of squash, very exhibition style, going for lots of winners, and just towards the end clipping a few too many tins, but very, very exciting to watch, and certainly had Paul Coll feeling very uncomfortable, again with all the variety, the switch, the changes of direction, the little angles. But a 2-love now for Paul Coll. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how Mohamed ElShorbagy is going to get through this.
They will resume in 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds.
Aisling Blake is with Mike Y. Let's hear from them.
Thanks, Joey. Mike, I found you again. Can I get some? Yes, I'm not. You were the person people want to hear from. Can I get your insight into the first two games here?
Well, first of all, I thought Paul Coll looked incredibly sharp the other night, and he does again tonight. Not as crisp with some of his attacking shots, but looks very sharp. And I think that what you're seeing here with Mohamed is that, 2-5 setters. cumulative mileage, and he's got to shoot, and his margins have gone down, and that's why we're seeing all these unforced errors. But as far as an exciting match goes, unbelievable.
It's so good, isn't it? He's so entertaining.
It's brilliant match.
Did you write him off after the first game or no?
I actually thought so. I hope in our group of bets with no money. I actually thought Coll looked so sharp. I thought he was going to come through this, but you never know. I mean, he was 2-love down the other night, I think. Mohamed came back, so let's see what happens.
Fascinating. Again, as always, thank you so much, Mike.
See you in the pub.
Nice there from Mike Way.
3-1.
Another out of court from Mohamed, an early lead from Paul Coll.
Well, could this be the beginning of the end for Mohamed ElShorbagy? 4-1 lead now in the third for Coll. Yeah, it's looking like he threw absolutely every bit of energy he had into that second game. And there's not a lot left in the tank, unfortunately.
Yes, 6-1.
Moments away, Paul Coll, from booking his place in the semis.
And out. 2-7.
He still keep trying to push, but that second game was the one.
Fault.
He served it out of
And
court.
out. 8-2.
I don't think I've ever seen him serve it out of court in his career. Might be wrong.
You've seen him play on plenty of occasions.
Yeah, I have seen him play on plenty of occasions.
Nine-2. Ten-2 match ball.
So Paul Coll with 8 match balls to arrive here tomorrow for a semi-final.
Match to Coll. 3 games to love. 11-4, 11-9, 11-2.
So Paul Coll manages to close out. Mohamed ElShorbagy threw everything at him in the second game. He kept steady. Good positive start for all 3 games from Paul Coll. Setting up a rematch of the World Championship semi-finals last year. We're going to hear now from Paul Coll and Michael.
Okay, we've got a quick chat with Paul before you leave this evening. Paul, congratulations, well done. Looked like most of the damage was done in the second. That looked like the turning point, and you came out on top there, and he didn't have much left in the tank in the third.
Yeah, I've played him loads of times, and I know when he makes that push that it's vital that you stay with him. He's so hard when he's attacking like that and jumping across the tee line. So I knew I just had to try and stay aggressive myself, which I was happy I did at the back end of that set. But he had a massive couple of 5-setters this tournament off the back of European. So I knew that if I could make it physical, that he might start to feel it. So big respect for him. What he does and how he plays. He's still fighting and still so bloody hard to play against. So yeah, very happy.
You ever seen him serve a fault before?
I'm not sure he's going to be happy you brought that up, but no, it's definitely a first.
Yeah, I think I was saying in the commentary box as well, of all the years, he's obviously the most capped player now as well. Just sort of put into context that the longevity and how tough that is to keep going. Mohamed ElShorbagy's 758 appearances now on the PSA Squash Tour, the most of all time. That's pretty tough to keep the body going for that long.
Oh, especially the battles he was having at 16, 17, 18 years of age. It's just impressive what he's done in his career and how injury-free he stayed. So, I didn't start having those battles until I was 25. So, it's just a massive respect for what he's doing and still doing.
Talking of battles, Mustafa Asal waiting for you in the semi-finals tomorrow. How do you rate him as a player, and how tricky is that going to be for you tomorrow? Have you got what it takes to get past him and into the final?
Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty clear about how I want to play. It's just a matter of executing on the biggest stage against the world number one. So, like I said, I'm very clear about my game plan and looking forward to it.
Does that take a bit of the pressure off, being the sort of underdog, if you like? I know you've got the firepower to beat Mustafa, but does that give you like an edge or any sort of advantage?
No, I don't think so. He's proved that he can handle that. He's had a couple of world number one battles already this season, so he's obviously hunting his first world champs as well. So, no, I don't think so, but I'm just here to do a job, and like I said, I know how I want to play, so yeah, pretty clear.
Good stuff. Best of luck tomorrow. We'll see you in the semi-final. Paul Coll, ladies and gentlemen.
Very businesslike in his interview and very businesslike with his squash as well tonight. And he needed to be. Fantastic to see ElShorbagy still produce a pretty good performance there. Didn't have enough in the legs physically. But that second game was pretty outrageous at times, very entertaining for the crowds, even though it was 3-love. I think they all very much enjoyed that. But Paul Coll, clinical, the straight drops were going in well, able to pick off those loose balls and those angles, and up to the challenge and storming away with that third game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mirror image of the World Championships in Cairo for both the men and the women. The exact repeat semi-finals that we had in 2024. 35 minutes, Paul Coll will be over the moon to have that efficient battle through over Mohamed ElShorbagy to move into the semi-finals tomorrow evening.
Paul Coll, third time in the semi-finals of the World Championships. How does that feel?
Yeah, very, very good. I was very happy with that performance today. I know Mohamed's had a couple of 5-setters, so I knew he just wanted to make it physical, and that push he put in the second is vital. That I sort of tried to put a stop to that, which I'm very happy I did, and come off in 3 sets.
You didn't want to rest easy after that, the ease of the first game.
No, I mean, I'm not stupid. I've played him many a times, and he's going to come out firing, isn't he? And I actually got a great start, 5-1, but then he sort of attacked really well, and I probably went a step back a bit. So happy with how I sort of closed that second out, stepped up again, started hitting it properly, and that was a big moment of the match to sort of put him, stop that sort of comeback.
It's very entertaining to watch. Did you get pulled into the entertainment of playing him sometimes?
I don't mind when it's that quick. I definitely can handle it physically, as long as I'm not just on the receiving end of it too much. As long as I'm attacking at the same time, I think it works actually in my favour. It's just got to stay with him on the scoreboard and not get carried away with too many shots. Just keep to my game, but I don't mind it when it's that open and that quick.
So you've got a tough one tomorrow, and you've had a good back end to the season. What do you think you need to do to beat those top three?
Yeah, tomorrow I've got a very clear game plan. I've had a couple of recent matches with him, which was good for me. I got a couple of losses, but definitely learned a lot from there. And it's just about executing my game plan. He's playing very, very well at the moment, both physically and his squash. So it's going to be a tough battle, but hopefully, if I stick and trust my game, then hopefully we can get a win.
Yeah, you're playing well too.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Best of luck tomorrow, and thank you very much for that. And we'll pop back up to the studio to Vanessa.
Thank you, Aisling. Lisa, we were sort of talking about the quarterfinals last night, not quite panning out as we'd hoped. Again, reasonably comfortable for the top seeds, all through safely, but not lacking in entertainment at times.
Not lacking in quality really either. I think all of the matches had really good squash quality. We saw the 4-set match with Olivia Weaver and Subramaniam, which we thought perhaps could go the distance. But yeah, another night of relatively straightforward squash. But the semi-final lineup, all top 4 seeds. And we've got a repeat of last year's semi-final lineup, which is pretty cool.
I know, incredible. Well, let's have a little look back at the results from this evening. And it was Sherbini that kicked things off with that 3-love victory over Kennedy. Didn't have it all her own way. 3 tough games. Olivia Weaver threw in 4 against Subramaniam. That was the match we were hoping to get possibly a 5-setter out of, but Weaver solid as anything. Mustafa Rassal, what a performance from him against Gawad. 3-love victory. And Paul Coll also threw in 3 against Mohamed ElShorbagy. Let's just talk about the Mustafa Rassal performance. This court is very good for him.
It certainly is. And the ball that he was using actually in the first part of that match was a bit of a flyer as well, which exaggerated just how fast that ball was coming off the front wall. It's very aggressive, it's ruthless, as I said. It suits a very attacking, powerful game. It suits Mustafa Rassal to a T. They then changed the ball, and you saw what you could do with any kind of ball, really. So I think, this court is suiting him down to a T.
And as you pointed out, that sets up identical semi-finals to last year. Not only the same players through, but also exactly the same matchups as well. So we've got Nouran Gohar taking on Hania El Hammami first up, followed by Olivia Weaver and Nour ElShorbagy. Just looking at those 2 women's matches, I was very impressed with Weaver. She had the tougher quarter-final, came through really strongly, particularly at the end of that match against Subramaniam. Sherbini again, maybe not fully tested yet in the tournament. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, all eyes were on Sherbini tonight, to be honest. How sharp was she? How well was she moving? Important, I think, for her to get through in 3. She did have a little bit of a test from Gina Kennedy, which I think will stand her in good stead. But when you saw the form of Olivia Weaver, I think this could be the All-Star Americans' time tomorrow.
And then if you look at the 4 semi-finals, there's some big ones in there. Obviously, Gohar, Hammami have had huge matches in the past. Farag, Elias, there's so much to look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, there certainly is, and I can't take my eyes off of the women's matchup between Gohar and Hania El Hammami. They've provided a fantastic rivalry their whole career. The matches that they've played over the last few years have been so hotly contested, and that's probably going to be my pick of tomorrow.
So same semi-finalists, will we see the same winners?
I think no.
Well, we'll certainly be back. Can't wait for the action to get underway tomorrow in the semi-finals. Make sure you are too, and we'll see you back here in Chicago.